going there.
Woo, praying is all I got right now.
And those commissions are going to get paid.
The best thing we could do always is tell the truth in the passive. Ash said it a couple weeks ago is don't sway from what I'm saying. Say exactly what I'm saying.
Karma's a bitch.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Happy MLM Monday. Be sure to check out all of the anti-MLM creators today. I hear it's a holiday in the U.S., so happy holidays to you in the U.S. We had ours last Monday. I am sorry I had to push the stream back. We actually had a tornado. Yep, we had a tornado here in Ottawa about half an hour ago, right when I was about to stream. We got a warning this morning, and something told me, you're going to want to push the stream back a little bit. Just go do it. You know, you ever had your intuition tell you something? So I was like, I'm going to push it back to 1:30 today because, you know, we don't have a whole lot to go through today. It shouldn't be too bad. We should be good. And right before 1 o'clock, it hit us, and we had major thunder and lightning and rain, and the power was flickering a little bit. And I was like, holy crap, good thing I moved the stream. But it cleared up about 10 minutes ago. It didn't last for very long. Usually when we get a tornado here, they aren't big tornadoes. It's nothing like what you guys would get out in Texas or California area or anything like that. We usually get a little funnel. It might do a tiny bit of damage, but I didn't see any. So we might have just been hit with rain and thunder, because that's happened a few times as well. But I don't know if they got a tornado in another area of town. I'll have to check that out in a little while. Joe, good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful birthday weekend. And Violet is here, and Jelly is here. Takara is here. Good to see you. And Wes has made it. And Mr. Level is here. Good to see you, Mr. Level. And I saw Albs here earlier and Devil's Advocate here earlier. So that is good. Chris says, if it's a F4 tornado in the States, it's because of the exchange rate. Is it F2 in Canada? I don't know. Like, we don't even get them here, like, to the point where I would be able to answer that question. Like, that's what I mean. They usually don't come here. Usually it misses us, and we just end up with the rain and thunder and lightning, which is pretty much what we got today. I'm going to have to check the news later on this evening and see what happened. At the end of the year, we should do a roundup of iconic Chris moments. That could be fun. We could definitely do that. No, well, maybe Violet. Maybe you are. Maybe it's it's not really phasing you anymore, you know? Hello, Ella. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So yes, today we're going to get yelled at. Kind of. I thought we would start off first with Red. Red did a very interesting live stream, I believe it was yesterday, about the plan. And he kind of yells at everyone too in his. And then we can listen to Chris yelling at us. I'm just going to be reacting to Chris because I'll be honest with you, Marty's entire part of that live stream, it was just the same thing over and over again. I don't know how many times I could hear Marty come out here and say the same thing anymore. Oh, that would be really sad. I hope everyone in PNG is okay. I really do hope so. Today's Monday Fun Day wasn't fun. Damn. But yeah, Red did a live stream, I believe it was yesterday, in which he tells everyone to have a plan. And it's pretty quick. I sped him up a little bit.
Okay, hello. How is everyone? Good to be here, as always. Today is Saturday, the 25th of...
See, yeah, there's stuff going on in PNG right now, right? And then it's like, So what are they doing? Are they going to do anything for it? You would think that this would be a great time to start helping the people in PNG that you promised to help before they had a natural disaster. So it's like, now that they have one, can we maybe like do something? Marty is going to be sad we aren't reacting to him, maybe. Right? What are they doing? What's going on? I haven't heard them say anything. Not one thing.
Of May. Happy weekend. I know for many countries, this is a long weekend. In the States, I think.
Mr. Level asked them if they were going to help, and they put him in timeout. So it's not looking too good for us.
It is Memorial Day, and obviously in the UK, we have the 2nd May bank holiday for us. So Labor Day on Monday for quite a lot of people.
See, we had our Labor Day last weekend here in Canada.
Hope you're enjoying the weekend and nice weather here in the UK. So before I get into today's topic, let's bring you up to date as far as Onpassive is concerned. And that is the My Links section of your ecosystem has been updated. We are now up to the link number 71.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
updated this morning. So a couple of links were added. We were on 69. We're now on 71. This is old websites. These are coded to you guys. If you want to use them and share them out to other people, that means that if they do click on that and go into
share all 71 links with people. People will love that.
To join in the ecosystem, they will fall into your organization. And the other bit of news is that on Let's O last night, which was I was on actually, I got up at very stupid o'clock at 2 a.m. To join Minnow and the rest of the crowd on Let's O. I was on for.
Yes, the Let's O. I'm going to be reacting to only parts of it tomorrow. The whole thing you can go and watch on the Recovering Hunbox channel if you so choose. It was very, very late. I had fun with all of you that were in the chat that night. But oh my God, I cannot stay up until 2 a.m. anymore. I am too old. Okay? I'm turning 38. In less than a month. My birthday's June 13th. It's coming up. And I'm way too old to be doing that. I felt it the next day. No one has sent you any links or video mails. Maybe they have, Jelly. You just haven't gotten them. Many were probably sent. Just actually arriving is the problem, right? Mordecai, good to see you. The best plan is to make tons of money while staying passive. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Not really. We're just getting started. Nobody's a millionaire yet. Not even Michael Williams.
Probably about 2 3/4 hours. So I went back to bed just before 4 a.m. And our CEO popped on just after about 4:30 for an hour or so to chill out and to basically mull over a couple of questions about.
Yeah, it went until like 2 a.m. It was a pretty long stream. Fun for us, but man, could you imagine doing like a corporate webinar for your business at 2 a.m?
Products, what they like, what people like, which are their favorite products in the ecosystem, which ones they're looking forward to seeing, etc. One bit of word of advice, please. As always, which our CEO does do, I've seen quite a lot of posts this morning from various people misrepresenting what he has said. The notes from last night and the recording are not available yet. The recording will be there. I spoke to Minu earlier on, and that is coming out, and you'll be able to listen to it, obviously, and get the right information. But some of the...
Well, the theme of today is going to be, do not lie about what Ash says. Just keep that in mind. They seem to have this idea in their head that people are out here saying that they're going to get paid right now, any minute, and that that's somehow misrepresenting what Ash said. Which, the last 2 weeks that he's appeared on these 360s, right? Because remember, he took off for like 3 weeks before that. Didn't show up. So the last 2 weeks, this was probably the last 10-day extension. And the money is going to be coming in any day into our account. And then he basically said as soon as he got it in the Onpassive bank account, he would distribute it out. He put that out there.
Information that's coming out from last night is not true. Okay, so before you start sharing, let's get the right information. The notes as well haven't been posted yet in the O-Founders back office. So let's just wait. Okay, let's share the correct information, please. Okay, so if you are seeing posts about Ash on Let's O last night, please
Red's like all about when this recording's coming out. He even asked on the webinar, like before it was over, he was like, so when's the recording coming out, guys? Is it going to be out like tomorrow? Like what's going on? Needs to calm down a little bit.
disregard them until we have the recording and or the written notes in your back office. Those will be correct. Anything else? It is people's opinion, speculating, etc., etc. So I thought I would just bring that to people's attention.
Okay, so here's the thing. Are you speculating if Ash comes out here, tells you that this is the last 10-day extension and that you're getting your money any day? If you figure that 10 days after that, you should probably be getting your money. Like, are you assuming at that point? Maybe slightly. You know, because he didn't give an exact date. You know, it wasn't like the 15th of the month, and then he said on the 25th, exactly 10 days from now. So maybe like a tiny bit, a little bit. But in my opinion, not really. You know, like, to them, if you come out here and you say this will be the last 10-day extension, they're going to figure something big is happening on day 10 or 11 of that. I don't know why that's always so surprising to them. It's like Ash comes out here and makes a deadline. Even without giving a date, you're still technically making a deadline. It's been very much by the end of this month. So I would say that anyone that's made the statement like around the end of May is being pretty fair with their like assumption, if it is an assumption, you know? I don't feel like they're jumping the gun. I don't feel like they're just like making up shit out of nowhere. It's not like Ash never said anything like that. And then people are just pulling dates out. It's so, I don't know. I don't know if it's really fair to get angry. Jelly says, basically he's saying, don't hold Ash accountable for anything. And especially when Ash kind of gives a due date or a deadline. It's like they keep getting surprised when people are like, oh, okay, so something should be happening now because Ash implied that right around now, something would be happening. Like, why is it so weird to them every time? And I don't know if it's fair to come out here and treat it as like people are lying about what Ash is saying. I feel like that's a bit too much.
Before it got out of hand a little bit. Okay, we are all excited, guys. Any moment now, the backlog of pending withdrawals will be actioned, but certainly no date has been given. Okay.
But this is what I mean. Like you basically just said any day now, but no date has been given. But by saying any day now, are you not kind of implying a date? Like it's not a specific date, but I don't understand how you would want somebody, let's say that you are an O-founder for Onpassive, and you're supposed to be selling the idea of joining to other people. Like in that moment, how would you describe to someone on the outside of Onpassive what's going on there right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, would you be like, oh, any day now, we're going to get paid? Or would you kind of chalk it up and be like, well, something's supposed to happen by the end of the month? I mean, Ash did say 10 days. And it's been longer than that at this point. So again, can you blame people for saying that something's happening any second? When you're like, any day now, any day now? Like, what does any day now mean?
So let's just wait, okay, for things to
Right.
play out in its own course and give the right information, because there's no point in giving false information. It gives the wrong information, false information. So there you go. When I was on Let's O and Minnows last night, the topic was formulating a plan. And that's kind of the route I want to go down today with you guys. Is what?
Wait, that was the topic? Yeah, I totally missed that. I basically, I even said to my Discord, I was like, basically, this fucking meeting was 3 products. Name 3 products. One that you're using because of love, which we'll talk about what that means tomorrow. One that you're using because of business, and then one that you don't like. I don't feel like anything else really happened other than that.
What is your plan? What plan have you got? Now, I'm not just talking about how you're going to build your Onpassive business, but also what is your after plan? I mean, you must have an idea of what you are going to do with your abundance once it starts happening. So I do really believe, and I was saying,
we're just going to like magically spend this money that doesn't exist yet, just play pretend some more. What will I do with all of my riches?
Saying this last night on Minnows.
I'm going to be an O-coin millionaire. How will I spend it all?
And on Ron's, that to have no plan, in my opinion, is crazy. As they say, a bad plan.
Sorry, I had to speed him up a little bit more. It's like he's still going a little slow for me.
Plan is better than no plan, and you really do need to have some kind of idea or plan that you have got in place for when things start happening. I mean, even if it is just paying your debts off, getting yourself buoyant, filling your tank of car up with petrol without having to worry about it, all these are part of your plan for after. And as Andy Burks has always said, he likes a list, and there is nothing wrong whatsoever with writing down your wish list. This is all part of your plan, and everyone's is going to be different. And why is everyone's going to be different? Because the amount of money that people are looking to achieve in Onpassive, everybody is different. Everybody, what makes my life comfortable might not make somebody else's life comfortable. And I'm sure that if you are from a poorer area of the
and technically then you are leaving people behind, and you're paying them based on what would be considered rich. So you just plan on giving, for example, the people in PNG like a couple $1,000s a month, because you guys think that will make them all feel rich, while you're trying to make like $40K a month, is what you're telling me then. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, no, sounds amazing. No one left behind, right?
World, the amount of money that I'm looking for would make you an absolute superstar king. So
yeah, what's the plan for after the SEC shuts Onpassive down? Because if we're going to start planning things, I feel like we should plan for everything, don't you?
This is why it's important for you to just jot a few things down. And once you have something written down, this is the starting blocks.
Right? Like, if you're going to plan what to do with all your riches, also come up with a plan for what happens if this all goes real, real bad. You know? Like, what's your backup plan then? But I'm sure we're not going to be talking about that today.
Of your plan. And as I said, what your plan is completely different from mine. Now, when I decided to join Onpassive all the way back in September of 2018 with Peter Rogers, we had a plan back there. And I can remember myself and Peter working Onpassive through the foundership, getting people to join. And our plan way back then, and this was in the September, it took us probably about a month or so to get to know really what the concept of Onpassive was all about. It was very shortly after we had the very first webinar with our CEO, Ashmi Farrow, which was about 5-6 weeks afterwards in October. And this is when the name was formulated. This was when we had our first webinar. And I can remember after that, me and Pete put a plan of action together. We decided that if...
Did you catch that? Red is admitting that him and Pete and a few of the founders here did get together at the very start of this to come up with the Go Founder name, which kind of tells us and validates what we've been thinking this whole time, right? That they all knew each other from before. This whole thing was kind of a planned business, right out of like their telex free into the GDI to the Ashmax to the Onpassive. I mean, he pretty much admits it here. Yeah, we had a meeting all together to decide what we would call this company. So then I start to wonder, well, you guys have a lot more to do with it than what you're letting on, you know?
If we could get to Christmas of 2018 and we had 100 people in our organization by that, we'd be really happy. As it turned out, we blew that out the water. But that was our plan. That was our very, very first plan of action as far as where we wanted to go or start going with Onpassive.
Did you catch that? That would have been in late 2018. Because Onpassive was started in June of 2018. So they've been there since the very, very beginning. In the boardroom meetings, discovering what to call it. Yeah, interesting.
Also back then, the plan was very different to my plan is now. Back in those days, it was...
Which is why it's a little bit of a scam. It's funny because most people would be a little bit upset that they signed up for one thing and then it all of a sudden became something else. Especially since this new thing is taking 6 years longer than the old thing was supposed to take. Because, like, they were supposed to be a marketing company, right? So when this thing started, it was like, yeah, we'll just do marketing for businesses. So it probably could have gotten up and running within a year. But then come the end of the year, Ash, as Red kind of says, they started to realize they were getting a lot of people joining. So then Ash kind of saw dollar signs and was like, oh, how much can I really milk these guys for? I know, I'll say that I'm making technology products and all this. And he added all that extra stuff on, and that's the stuff that's been taking forever. You know what I mean? I mean, would their marketing have been great if that's all they're doing? No, it would have been a bunch of Bill Musk production level shit. You know, we've seen it. But at the same time, it probably would have been able to get going as a business and like launch to the public a lot sooner. It's all the technology stuff that's like made this take so long. Really. Other than the fact that, yeah, Ash wasn't fucking doing anything. But maybe he would have. I mean, who knows? So they lost a lot of people. They lost a lot of people at a few different points over the years. But the first time was really when the switchover happened. And it went from being a marketing company to being this big tech giant company that was going to take over the world. Because a lot of people were like, I don't know about this. This isn't what I signed up for. And now I have to wait for you to make a bunch of products. And I don't like it. But these guys were like, oh, that's a great idea. Which also leads me to wonder, like, how much do they know about what this thing really is, you know?
All about building an organization rather than building a front line. And this is one of the reasons that I keep on saying time and time again to especially those early birds that what was in place back then will be honored today in the form of
good question, Chris. I have no clue. I haven't seen him. So I don't know. Maybe he's one of the ones that left.
Group bonuses or organization bonuses, etc., through for volume, all these sort of things to make up for the reason that people built teams or organizations rather than those front lines. But
what a sad story to have Onpassive be the best opportunity in your life.
It was important even back then when we joined. I think there was maybe just under 2,500 founders when Peter, Rogers and myself joined. All the way through to where we are now, we've always had a bit of a plan of action. Of course, things change, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody should ever get stuck with one plan because times change, things change, goalposts even change. And the whole concept of Onpassive has changed from where we were in 2018 to where we are now in 2024. So that was our business plan. But you also need to have a plan once the money starts coming in. Why am I telling you this now? Why am I saying it's important to have a plan when the money comes in? Quite frankly,
Mark says, I asked Red earlier if we could expect commission soon, but he and James laughed the question away, saying, I didn't understand Onpassive. Too right, I don't. I know, like, they say that, and I'm like, does anyone, though? Like, does Ash? I don't even think Ash does, you know? Sometimes I'm like, this man is just making this up as he goes along. And because sometimes I think he is. He was making up products on that Oron show, okay? You'll see what I mean tomorrow. It was a little ridiculous. But it's like they say, oh, you just don't understand the movement. And they're like, oh, we get a feeling when we all hang out together. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, fun and everything, but that doesn't pay your bills. Like, turn into this weird social club movement instead of a business opportunity. And I'm not sure which one's worse. You know, like there's issues with both of them. It's like, it's a pyramid scheme, MLM, which we don't like. That's not a good thing. But then if it's not that, then it's just a cult. And it's like, that's not a good thing either. So we kind of lose either way. You know? Because either way, people are going to lose money in this thing. And it's going to be a weird experience going forward. You can't wait for Odit. That's one of my favorite ones. I love it. Odit. Oh, Diddler. P. Diddy's favorite one.
Many of us, in fact, nearly all of us, aren't used to having a substantial amount of money. How many times do you see lottery winners, people winning obscene amounts of money, and then they're on the news 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, and they've got nothing? Why? Because they think it's an endless pot. They get ripped off.
But Onpassive is technically supposed to be an endless pot. You promise generational wealth. If anything, isn't that worse than the lottery in a way then? See, maybe you should be having this conversation, like I said, but you should be having it in terms of like preparing for if you do get money, but then also preparing for when this falls through, you know?
Advantage of by many, many people. They get suckered in to basically spending their money on things that are not part of their plan.
Guys, don't get scammed, says the man that's promoting the scam.
And this is why it is important for us to try and condition ourselves and get used to saying, if I get the sort of money that I'm looking to achieve with Onpassive, what am I going to do with it? What is my plan of action with what I'm going to get? What am I going to do with it? That is a plan. And to formulate that plan, guess what you got to do? You got to write stuff down. It's all very well and good having it up here. And it's all very well and good saying, yeah, don't worry about it. I know.
You've joined in 2018 and you've been lied to and strung along by Ash Mufara for 6 years. And you're in here saying we're the ones that are crazy? I don't understand how you can be in an active cult, scamming people and having to lie to them all the time for years, and then claim that you're the sane one. You know? I get very worried about you guys. I feel like you've been taught wrong. Like you've been taught that the way of life is that everyone in the world that works a 9-to-5 job, those awful jobs, they're just waiting around for 6 years hoping to get a paycheck. When really, for the last 6 years, if you had had one of those job jobs, you would be doing a hell of a lot better than if you were sitting around and Onpassive waiting on money. You know? Would have made a lot more money. You've made zero in Onpassive. Quite right, Red. A lottery win is just for Christmas. But Onpassive is unlimited income for life. I'm kind of confused by his like, oh, the lottery winners thought that it was like an endless pot of money, because I'm like, okay, they should have maybe known better, except here at Onpassive, you are claiming that to be an endless pot of money. So, are you saying that it's over here that they should just be spending their money stupidly?
What I'm doing and all the rest of it.
What are we
It's
saying?
amazing how much more focused you are if you write things down on a piece of paper. Number 1, clear my credit cards off. Number 2, pay my mortgage off. Number 3, pay my car rental off. Number 4, clear out any overdraft. Get rid of that. Okay.
What happened to saving the rest of the world? It's funny because now that the time has come, you're noticing a lot of people are saying things like, I can't wait to save humanity after I take care of myself and my own family. And I'm like, funny how when you approach actually getting this money, your whole stance on how you don't need much changes. And now the money is for you and your family instead of saving the whole world. Right? Like, they're not going to help anyone, which would be okay if they hadn't been out here promising everyone that they were going to help them. You know, that's my issue. I have no problem with people being in businesses, working, making money, doing your thing. Go get that bag, baby. Just do it in an honest, ethical way. Have some fucking integrity. Don't lie to people. Don't string people along. Let them make an educated decision about what they're in, which is why you can't like change what the business is a year after you start it. You know, like do like a swap and switch. Like, haha, tricked you. We're actually doing this now. Like all of that is very, very unethical. It's very manipulative. All right. It's not, it doesn't show any class or integrity. I'm just asking that you do it properly. There's a proper way to run a business. This is how we have laws and regulations. And believe it or not, as I pointed out, it's actually a lot easier to follow the laws than it is to break the laws and sneak around and look for loopholes and do this and that and the other thing. Believe it or not, it's actually a lot harder to suck. So, you know, like maybe just do it properly. You know? That's all I'm asking. I just want you to do it properly. Onpassive is the golden goose that never lays eggs. I mean, pretty much. Next level says, I have a better chance at winning a golden ticket for the Wonka factory than Onpassive payouts. It's true. What I will do when my ship comes in versus real world. Yeah. Ella says, our friend, my family member, has been involved for the last few years. Pitiful and so upsetting to watch. This channel and what Beth and Hunbot are doing gives us hope and lightens our hearts somewhat. It is. It's hard to watch somebody fall into this. It's the cultiness of it, right? It's one thing to have a business and to have people buy into your business and to kind of lie to them about products and all that. But this is something more than that, right? And this is what I mean. Like, it's become this movement, social clubby-like community. They're not even hiding it anymore, is what's happening. Now they're just out with it. They're like, yeah, we all like to just hang out and take up time with each other. Because this is a cult where we all worship Mr. Ash Mufara and we hope that he'll pay us soon. It's like, oh my God. You know? Because it gives this like false sense of hope. Which is what is like, you know, worrisome to me.
Okay, all of these things, whatever your scenario financially.
Like Alfredo Silva, sweetie, I've been covering this thing for 3 years. I've never even heard of you. Like, you're at the bottom of this thing. These guys don't even know who you are. They know me more than they know you. And they hate me. But they're actually lying to you and telling you that they love you and that they're going to change your life and fix your life. I bet you I've given you more attention here in my chat today than you've ever even gotten from them. And I'm not here to lie to you or promise you anything. I'm here to tell you the truth about what this is about. Because I've been covering companies and cults like this since 2019. So think about that.
is you want to make sure that at the end of your list, you are completely debt-free. Everything that you own has been paid for. You do not owe any money. And once you get to that stage, guess what? You can make another plan. You can have another plan of action. Why? Because your mindset has completely changed. You are then not in a position of getting...
But wouldn't your mindset be better? So, like, are you just making a better plan then?
Having the money to sort your life out. You are then in a position of having the money to enhance your life, to enjoy your life. So your plan will change from the debts, the paying offs, the getting rid of any finances that you might owe, to having a holiday, go visit people, buying a new car, buying a new house, taking a longer vacation than normal, paying for your kids to do something. Whatever all of these is a plan. But never be scared to update your plan. Never be scared to change things a little bit. And it really is important for you to start understanding that this is going to happen, guys. I know we have been talking about it for so long. I know we've been waiting for an awful long time for the fruition of what we've been told.
Yeah, a lot of you since 2018.
Over the last 5.5 years to come to the date when it starts happening. But it is going to happen. And this is why it's important to try and focus.
Red, what makes you think it's going to happen? Because I have more proof that it's probably not going to happen than I do that it will happen. Like, for example, like, who's your new merchant? Because you took this merchant to court. And then you lost the court case. Now, Ash now claims that they won a court case. I don't know what he's talking about. You lost the court case. And then you've been out here talking smack on them for months now. So I don't think they're going to want to work with you. Like, I think this is a situation, by what it sounds like, even by what Ash has explained it to be, where they're like, take your fucking money after this 6 months is up and then go find a new merchant, bozos. We don't want anything to do with you. You tried to take us to court. Like, what the hell? So who's your new merchant? Because the thing is, when you get a new merchant, they're also going to want to hold your funds. Nothing's changed. The only way that the new merchant would not hold your funds is if for the last, since September until now, you were doing business. And then you had a history to prove that you could do legit legal business for a handful of months as a company. Then you might be okay. Then you might have a chance at getting a new merchant that isn't like, I'm going to put all your shit on hold for 6 months. But as of this moment right now, as far as I'm aware, you're aware, everyone seems to be aware, you don't have a merchant. That's why you're all flipping out about how you have to get O-Verify done now. Because technically, none of you can get paid out until O-Verify is done. You know? Well, I may be a jocker group. I don't know what that means. But I bet you I've made more money on my channel than you've ever made it on Passive. Probably just in the last month, by the way. I'm just saying. And my channel runs on ethics and morals and values and integrity, which is something that you're missing out on Passive. So my whole thing is like, why are these people going to get paid? Like, I don't even know why you think you're going to get paid. Ash cannot just give you this money out of this bank account. Even I thought he could at the beginning. I was like, why can't he just transfer it over? And everyone was like, because Queen, that would be very illegal. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, you guys are right. Yeah, that wouldn't work, would it? All right, I see what's going on here. But then that made it worse. Because it was like, well, wait, if that's the case, then he isn't going to be able to pay these people out until they secure a new merchant, in which case they would have to pay another deposit down for 6 months, which for some reason Ash doesn't have. Probably because he didn't make everyone pay for OConnect again, you know? Right? Like, then wouldn't we just be in the same position where now all of the money is sitting in a bank account labeled Onpassive payment from merchant and it's unable to be distributed out? Like, how come you're not taking a moment, Redfern, good old Dick, buddy old pal Dick, we're friends by now, right, Dick? Right. So why don't you think about that? Like, why do you let Ash just say, listen, we're going to get our payments any day now. And then you go, okay, we're going to get our payments any day now. How come there's no more thinking past that? Like, how come you don't go, but how am I going to get my payments? And how come you couldn't pay me before, but now all of a sudden you're able to pay me? Is it just about this money being on hold? Because only a certain percentage of it was on hold, not the entire thing. So how come none of that money could go out? I mean, Ash already spent your $108 million initial buy-in on himself. He bought cryptocurrency, groceries, went to the salon and spa, paid for his wife to get her hair did, paid for his son's martial arts classes. The SEC literally tracked the money. Yeah, the Security and Exchange Commission can have access to your bank account. Who knew? So this is like, so I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if people are getting their money because Ash maybe spent it already. Sounds like he spent a bunch of it already, if you ask me. Just based on the fact that you literally couldn't give out 1 cent. It was like, could you not at least give them all something out of this money? Like maybe not a whole payment, but at least something so that they could get some food for their families in the meantime while they're waiting, you know? Since you care about them oh so much. And you're going to save their generational wealth and their family's future. It's like, what, you couldn't throw them each like $20 to fucking get some food or something? Like, really? Like, but no, it's because there's bigger issues than that going on. And these issues are not solved. We're still in the exact same position. This is my issue. Is I'm like, nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is now this money's off hold. Everything else, though, is the exact same. We have the exact same problem. No merchant. You know? No merchant.
Focus on what we are going to do. Because if you do not, guess what happens? You wake up, you might have lost it, you haven't been savvy with your money, you haven't been in the right position that you should have been mentally. You might have gone out and gone completely crazy, got blind drunk, or done something stupid, or whatever it may be, rather than doing things in a controlled manner. Having money should certainly not be a burden. It should be there to help you to enjoy your life and the people around you. But it really is important to have a plan. So I ask you again, what is your plan? I've got one. Jane's got one. And I'm sure every single one of you guys out there has one as well. So guys, that was my topic for you today.
So Red's topic for us that day was basically come up with a plan on how to spend your money. So in other words, play pretend some more. Play pretend. Think about it. Come up with a plan for how to not get scammed as well while you're being scammed. You know? It's a great plan, I guess. That's viral and Onpassive plan, right? I guess viral would be having, what, 1,000 people at your webinar? Imagine Alfredo becoming awakened, storming to Ash's place to demand his refund personally, and Ash's kid beats him, Alfredo up, using techniques from the karate classes Ash paid for with swindled cash. Well, that just went full circle, didn't it, Wes? We just went on a ride with that one. I like it. I like it. Maybe Ash had to pay for those karate classes, you know, because people are allegedly storming into the Orlando office. So he's going to put little Ash out front to take care of anyone that shows up, you know? Yeah, a plan solves everything. It's like, I mean, you can plan all you want, but let's be honest. Right now in Onpassive, they do a lot of planning. It's the execution of that plan where everything gets fucked up. So I'm not too I'm not too confident that everyone in Onpassive would be able to plan and then stick to the plan. You know? I don't know if it's gonna happen. If anyone gets rich off this, it will be justified if they go out and fall down drunk to deal with the shock. Right? They'd be like, oh my God, this shit actually worked. Holy. Viral is defined as 24 billion paying Onpassive customers, according to Mike Ellis and Andy Burke. Oh, well, my. 24 billion paying Onpassive customers. Oh, I'm sure they'll get there. Yep, they just got to get them from all 3,029 countries in the world, and then they'll be good to go. Ash Jr. protecting his dad. Yeah, I could see it, right? You see him just out there doing his little karate moves. The refocus on Catmo only lasted a week, and now their theme is planning. That's true, isn't it? Catmo seems to have dropped off. They kind of brought it up, but not enough. It wasn't really brought up for longer than a week. I was expecting it to come back full-fledged. But yeah, it's been gone again. So now, do you guys want to hear Chris yell at us? Chris got quite heated in this live stream from, was it yesterday's? I believe it was yesterday.
One thing I loved, this Indian webinar we just did, our family and friends, there was something, they all said something phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, if you want to me to react to their Indian webinar, then let me know. We could probably do that on Thursday. So let me know.
The one lady, and let me find it because I've been forgetting everything here. Her name was Raka, and I probably said it wrong, and I apologize for that. Let me open this up. You see my eyes, and you were funny, Narelle. Reka, I can't see her last name. Watch the video. She said something that caught my attention I never heard before. She said when she got into this and she was talking to people, she basically said, well, you can lose $97 or you can gain the world.
That's right.
I absolutely love that she said that. And it's really the truth, because a lot of us come across all these things, whether you get it in your phone, spam, whatever, and they promise you a lot of things. That was exactly what people need to say. Well, you might lose $97, but you also might gain the world. It definitely outweighed the me losing $97. And by the way, I didn't lose anything, and I did gain the world. I
don't lose anything. I gain the world.
Passive. And another thing, I'm reading to the comments because
the other thing that they keep saying is we got the $97 back. No, you didn't. You were given 95 O-coin. How do you mess up this math? You paid $97 US dollars. And yes, US dollars. You were made to pay in US dollars. So if your currency is something else, too bad. You were made to then go and purchase a card where you could pay for it in US dollars. So then you were paying $130 US. We did the math. And it was anywhere from $117 to $130 for somebody that was outside of the US to join. Okay? But whatever. $97. You paid $97 US. Ash gives you 95 O-coin. And you go, oh, yeah, no, he gave it all back. Like, I know it's a little silly. It's only $2 off. But it's still like, is that what you're willing to put up with? Did you ever think that maybe Ash tests you guys to see what you're willing to put up with? And he sees things like that and goes, awesome. They won't mind if I skim off the top then. Yeah, no, I could make them pay me $97. I'll pay them $95 back on fake currency. And they'll all still want to eat my ass telling me that I paid them back and gave them a refund. Do you ever think about that? Because you maybe should. You know, because you can't let him get away with things like that. It's just like how he spent your $108 million on himself. And then you guys say nothing about it. You're like, that's fine, that's cool. He sacrifices so much for us. It's okay that he does that. Like, he's the one that created this company because he wanted to scam all of you. So anything that he goes through it's kind of, yeah, he wanted to go through it. Like, sorry, but if you want to run a whole company, then yeah, there's some responsibilities that you have. Like, you can't just be like, I want to run a company and then go on the beach and go sip margaritas. Like, I'm sorry, but no, that's not how it goes, right? So it's like, oh yeah, just so how do you know that he's not just fucking with you? Because I would personally be wondering by now, especially by now. Like, I mean, he could totally not pay you people a cent and just continue to string you along. And look at y'all. You'd all take turns doing webinars, trying to convince each other that you're okay with it. Yelling at each other. Oh, you're not okay with him ripping you off all your money? How dare you be so negative? Don't you know what Onpassive is all about? It's like, oh my God. Like, I'm sure he laughs at you every day. Him and his wife before bed while they're counting their money and looking at all their secret crypto bank accounts. Yeah. They're laughing it up. They're like, these fucking jackasses. They all think we paid them back. They're so dumb. I'll give them $95 O coins. It's not worth anything, man. It ain't worth. I didn't give these people a fucking cent. They're all out here talking about how I paid them all back and refunded them all. Bunch of fucking chumps. Hey, sweetie, you want to go to the spa tomorrow? On all these people's diamonds again? Okay. I may be crazy, but Ash's wife ain't going to the spa on my dime. She's going to the spa on your dime, not on my dime. Like, how do you know that he isn't laughing at you? That he doesn't think that you're all a joke? Because based on his own run, I think he does.
When Marty's talking, I try to read what people say. I think Vaveen Benny said it, you know, in a different way. While we're thinking about the new car, the new house, the new beach, whatever, Vaveen said, imagine the people that are thinking a new pump to get fresh water. See, there's different mindsets. Different.
Marty just installed a toilet system in his chair. I mean, hey, maybe this is the prototype for the med bed. They're gonna see if first you can install a toilet, and then after that we'll start installing the IV medication.
Way of thinking, where I want something, they need something. Okay, I don't need a big boat, a big house, a lot of things. And I think, and she woke me up to that again. And I try to think like that. There's people in this world that they need things to survive. We're talking about our luxury stuff, which is okay. We want to dream bigger. But when she said that and wrote it down and put it in perspective, it's like, yeah, I do really want to think that I want to be in other people's shoes, to be honest with you. I want to understand what they're going through. I want to understand how I can help. And through Onpassive, I believe that a lot of us, a lot of angels out there that are going to help people put a brand new pump or fix a pump that brings fresh water to a village.
Why do they keep bringing up water? I feel like they're all listening to me since I constantly bring up their water filtration promises. It's like, oh my God. And like, it's kind of weird the way that Chris is like, I want to understand what these people are going through. Like, why don't you? Like, do you not just have empathy? Am I weird? Do other people have to like sit down and try to understand what people are going through? Or don't you just like feel for people? Like if someone tells you they're going through something bad, don't you just automatically feel for them? Am I the only one that's automatic with? Sometimes I don't know anymore.
I know Papua New Guinea does their own drilling for water. And that's big to me. That's big.
Yeah, they could still use help with that though, right? I mean, you went over there and you promised them it. So don't be like, oh, they do their own drilling, so they're okay now. Like those programs could still use some extra funds. Pretty sure all of them would, right? I don't think any kind of organization is going to turn down funds, to be real with you. You know?
To Ashbafar, that's big to DeGarmo.
Am I weird? Am I weird or are you joking? I don't know. Sometimes I have to question. I don't know. I'm on the spectrum, so I'm kind of like, am I fucking weird? I don't know. I just got diagnosed like 2 years ago, so now I'm over here going, maybe I'm the one that's weird. Maybe the rest of the world doesn't just have automatic empathy for people. Like maybe they actually do have to work on it. Fucking, I don't know. Because he's like, I really got to work on trying to understand what people are going through. And I'm like, that was weird. Like, I thought that you were the guy that did understand. The guy with all the empathy. The one that wanted to save all the homeless people with Oblast. So it's a little weird coming from Chris, especially, you know? It's like, what's that?
DeGarmo, all of them. It's just, that's how we got it. But I'm never going to say, and I think in the past I got a little mad about it. I really love life. I mean, I love the things that you can do in life. Do I like materialistic things? I do. And someday I might get another big boat. But I want to tell you this, is if there's more important things, the way we're going to fix this world is by walking in someone else's shoes. And that's not always easy to do. There's people on here that struggle daily. And I know about it because they send me stuff. And that's hard for me sometimes. What do I got to do?
Okay, so do you understand empathy? Do you have empathy? You understand what people are going through? Is it hard for you sometimes? Or are you struggling to understand it? Because it can't be both.
How can I help them? And that's praying is all I got right now. But I know things are going to change. I also want to just do a little cleanup here. Is someone out there is posting that Ash Mafar set a date and you're going to get withdrawals. He never set a date. So please, if you see that, take it down. I've got it sent to me at least 100 times.
Oh my God, and here we go. So we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuck boy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn.
Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No, no, no. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS pharmacy, Rexall, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you sexual endorphin spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chad's R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor.
Yes, thank you. And Alfredo is back. Everyone's a little bit worried about him, though, because he said he only paid $97, so he's not getting any commissions. Because you have to buy OConnect to get the commissions from OConnect. I'm just saying. As Chris is saying, that you have to buy the OConnect, and at that time, it was $143, and that's because you got the money back. So you're supposed to pay your O coins for it. Right? And then there was also a sale on it on top of that. Because right now, if you're an O founder, instead of it being like $375, it goes down to $250, and then they had taken off $50 or something. So then, like, it was weird. Anyway. You have to buy OConnect in order to sell OConnect and make money. If you do not buy it, then you are just going to be getting O coins, not money that you can withdraw.
So please, if you see that, take it down. I've got it sent to me at least 100 times.
Someone out there is posting that Ash Gafar set a date and you're going to get withdrawals. He never set a date. So please, if you see that, take it down. I've got it sent to me at least 100 times.
If you guys remember, about 3 weeks ago, they told us that there were maybe some 50 things that we had to do, but don't take it literally. We were down to 3, right? Last Wednesday, he said we are down to 0. Okay? Now, if you remember, we've had issues with merchants. Merchants who had to keep our money for 6 months, and the 6 months the time is up. They now have to pay us. They have no choice. So what's going to happen? Any day from now, that money is going to hit Onpassive bank account if it hasn't already done so. Because this was Wednesday he was talking about, so we've been waiting since Tuesday, right? So if it hasn't already done so, it's going to hit that account anytime from now. And once it does,
you guys remember
it promises not to keep that money any longer than necessary, maybe 48 hours, 2 days. And those commissions are going to get paid. He said that this might well be the last extension. Why? Tomorrow, the 20th, is going to be the last day for the extension that we just had. So if they give another 10, 11 days or so, that's going to take us to when? End of the month, right? So we are hoping that by that end of the month, we would have started seeing those commissions. And this is me. I have a personal intuition. I have a feeling that anytime on or around June 1st, we're going to have a big news from the CEO. Believe me.
You guys remember that? I'm wondering if that's who they're talking about, because Charles Osog was the only one who set a date.
The best thing we could do always is tell the truth in a passive. Ash said it a couple weeks ago, is don't sway from what I'm saying. Say exactly what I'm saying. And you can actually go watch the video. It's up there. It's in the back office. And listen to yourself. But please don't put out false information. That makes it tough on everybody.
So I wanted you to hear the Charles Osog thing again, because he's the only one that I could find that actually set a specific date. And he says himself, by the way, during that stream, which I don't agree with him doing this. I just want to put that out there first. I don't think he should have come up with his own date of June 1st and June 5th. But in his defense, at least when he did that, he did make it a point of saying, this is just what I'm thinking. This is just my personal belief. I'm figuring it will be by June 1st, and then we should all have our payments by June 5th. That's what he said. But he did make it a point to be like, that's just me, though. This is just me coming up with stuff. What he did say is that on the 20th is when most of the people, basically the people that made the very first payments of OConnect, they were due to pay again on the 20th. Right? So they were extending it again. So he said, by the end of the month, that's 10 days to the 30th of the month, the end of the month. So it's not really that weird. And I don't know if that's would be considered changing something from what Ash said. Because that is what Ash said. I mean, Ash did say this is going to be probably the last extension for 10 days. By then, you guys should be getting paid. By then, they should put the money in my account and I'm going to be distributing it. So I don't know why people would think otherwise. And I mean, it seemed like you guys were fine with celebrating it for the first couple days after it was announced. And now you're all upset. Like, you're upset that people are celebrating that they're getting their money at the end of the month. And you're like, nobody said that. And it's like, you guys were happy about it for a couple days. What do you mean? It's so weird. How can you tell the truth in Onpassive if you are telling people they will make money? I don't think that anyone's supposed to get commissions. I've already said this a million times. Like I said, it sounds like they're all getting paid from their own sale of OConnect, which you don't make commissions on your own sale of OConnect. Like that, I still don't understand. like what all of that is. They have to explain all of that. But that's like, yeah, good luck. But that's like the whole thing is like, shouldn't we know that by now? Shouldn't we have this explained to us? That's what's also iffy about this whole payment thing. Is it's you get 100% commission when they buy OConnect the first time. After that, you get 25%. Okay, cool. But why is everyone getting 100% commission right now when nobody's underneath them? I'm very confused. Or if there are people underneath them, those are the only people that are getting money. Nobody else would be. So many Nostradamuses in Onpassive. You know? A little bit. The truth is that Ash does not really know how to move forward. Payment processors are wary of Onpassive, so he's constantly stalling and trying to figure out what's next. I believe that to be true as well. I think he's having issues. And I think he's having the same issues he's been having. It's just, how long are people going to wait? I guess that's what the big question of the day is, right? How long will all these people wait and let him fuck them around for before they're like, okay, enough is enough? Ash will need another excuse at the end of this week of why they are not getting paid. I'm waiting for him to bring up the O-Verify because, again, technically they can't get paid until that. So I'm wondering if he'll just fall back on that excuse. You know? Oh, look, Alfredo's being sarcastic. Onpassive's a real company, real products, real people, real offices, real money. Thanks, Onpassive. He's made $0 so far. Wes is like, I like him. Ash never expected this scam to run this long. I don't think he did either. I think that it came as a very big shock. Like, even Red earlier on, when he was explaining that, like, all of a sudden at the end of 2018, they had, like, 1,000 fucking founders in it. And they were all like, oh, shit, what the hell did we just start? I believe that. And then it would have grown. And he's going, oh, shit, what do I do now? You know, how am I going to pay all these people out? I wasn't going to actually make these products. And then the SEC came about, and then it was like, oh, now I have to actually do this. You know? Joe says, I keep hearing Onpassive is a real business, but a real business never has to say it's real, in my experience. Right? Sometimes actions speak louder than words. And in that case, I think, you know, this is a big example of that. Are those real offices still listed on the website? No. No. And the reasons why have changed. First, it was just they took them off for a little bit. They're going back on. Don't worry. When nobody was supposed to really pay attention to it. And then it was, oh, well, there wasn't enough room on the website when we were formatting the website ourselves, allegedly, to put the offices on there. And then it was, well, basically then Ash came out and was like, people are coming to the offices. So we had to take them down because none of you founders can behave yourselves and not show up at our offices. And it was like, okay, never heard you complain about that before, you know, but whatever. Where was O-Verify when Gersminder was signing up his 2,000 fake accounts? See, and I wonder about that as well. Like, what's going to happen with that? Like, all these people at the very beginning of this were told to open up as many accounts as possible. Me and the Recovering Hunbot reacted to a few streams of Ash being like, you know, like, open up as many accounts as you can buy. And so it's like, okay, so now what are they doing? Are they selling those accounts? Do they have to sell those accounts? Will certain people be allowed to have multiple accounts? Will Ash be able to let certain people through? That's a big question. And, then that, of course, makes you wonder about how great this verification system is. If Ash can just go in there and, let people through, without being verified, So I don't know what's going to happen with all that. It'll be interesting. Ellis says, no one in Onpassive thinks for themselves. They all take everything Ash says as gospel. And it's frustrating sometimes because it's like, how do you not think past what Ash says? Like when he comes out here, he says, we've been having problems with merchants, but finally we took them to court. We lost, but don't worry. 6 months is up and they're going to pay us. How is your next thought like, okay, but now who's our merchant? Like, do we have one? How are we getting paid if we don't have a merchant anymore? So you took them to court. It's so frustrating. It's like, come on, people, think for yourselves just a little bit. Have just a tiny bit of critical thinking. Just a little teeny smudge. Just any amount at this point. Don't worry, I did make a video on the locations of Onpassive. Yes, you did, Joe. Joe has one on his channel. So if they ever try to say that they, didn't put them on the website, no, then they did. They did.
And you should know better. Plain and simple. We are planning to go around the world and bring in different countries every Saturday. So get a lot of people saying this and that. And hey, what about us? We're going to get you all. Be patient. Be patient. We're trying to get individuals from every country. And I'm going to give you a heads up, Singapore. I'm going to give you up Angie Han, Germany. Okay. And don't think we're stopping there. We're going to keep going because we really, truly enjoy doing this.
They want to be in all 3,000 countries across the flat earth.
And the whole idea of doing this is to show the world, that the global world, that this company is about many things that are beautiful, many things that are going to change.
Like Jelly says, you can make an Onpassive account in 10 seconds, no verify, no multi-factor authentication, nothing. All you need is to have an email address and the ability to type or do voice to text even. Right? I mean, that's all you need. You just need your name, your email address, put it in there. You get an account,
Change things. Yeah, we got global companies all over the world, but do they change things? No. Just my mind is frazzled because there was a million things I wanted to say, but Monday is our Memorial Day. Okay. It's not a holiday that we should celebrate, but then again, it is. I posted some guy, a veteran, on my Facebook, and it made a lot of sense to me. He's saying
Joe kind of has a channel. Joe's not like a content creator or anything, but he posts some little videos on there sometimes, usually to make fun of me.
For him, it's a little different, but because of people died, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow when it is actually Memorial Day, because of the people that.
Andy says, Ash is a pastor by profession and has charmed thousands over the years. Remember, history is all a lie, as well as Ash's nearly 6-year history with nothing passive. Right? But that's the thing, is that the history here tends to repeat itself. And the history here is that nothing happens, especially when it's supposed to.
Sacrificed and died, men, women, children all over the world in all these wars that we've had. It gives us the freedom to get out and do what I'm doing right now. It gives us the freedom to go out and have that picnic today or that barbecue and keep them in your thoughts and hearts and prayers. They're not here with us anymore. Their families have the memory of what it is. And what it is we have the ability to do just about anything we want because of individuals like that. So,
I don't know what you're saying.
That's a great thing. We all of us have lost somebody in wars, which I don't like, but I have no control over that. I wish I could, but I don't. And we're praying for you. And like I said, we'll talk about more of this on tomorrow. I'm pretty good. If you got a birthday, happy birthday. Red is not coming on. She doesn't come on Sunday. I want to say to Lystra, I had so much fun on the trivia show last night that I literally need stitches because I was laughing so hard. And then actually
Thomas says, Onpassive has a team of lawyers that were the top of their graduating class at Uncle Scammy's Law School, AC Repair, and Oil Change Emporio.
Coffee today tastes a little bit like turtle soup. And that got me real excited when I drank that coffee. So I had to put that in there, Marty. We had, I think last night was one of those nights. Do I want to go on tonight or do I want to sit down and relax, watch a movie? I'm glad I went on because I needed laughter. Laughter is my medicine. If I don't laugh at least 5 times a day, I'm not having a good
Amen says, if you have a birthday, last time I checked, everyone has one. Like, what does he mean? At this point, instead of them wishing people happy birthday, because, I mean, and this is why I kind of said that it might be a good idea for them to nip it in the butt ages ago when they were doing this, like, we're going to pray for people, we're going to wish people a happy birthday. You know, if you want prayer, get a hold of us. If it's your birthday, come let us know. Because I was like, they have so many people that, I mean, it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to spend half an hour just saying happy birthday to people, you know? And they kind of reached that point. That's why these webinars turn into the prayer meetings. And everyone of you guys were kind of getting fed up of it because you were like, Jesus Christ, every time we go to one of these webinars now, it's like they're having prayer time for half an hour. And that's because exactly that's what happened. Is it's like everyone's going to then reach out to them. Unfortunately, since this thing is such a cult, there are people in this that are just like, this is what's going to save my life. For whatever reason, they think that if these jackasses on my screen, not Agent's not a jackass, not them. These people on my screen, and no, I am so happy Jean is commenting. Her too, by the way. Okay? Like, they think that if they get these guys' attention and get these people to pray for them, then for some reason it's like they're also godly beings now in Onpassive, right? It's very similar to Love is One with like Amy Carlson, and then you had Hope and Faith, and they kind of came up as her right-hand women, and then they were like seen as these, you know, fucking special beings. And it's the same thing over here with this. You know, it's like now these guys are seen as like one step down from Ash Mufara. So if you're not getting attention from Ash, you want to get attention from these two clowns. Or the handful of other people that you guys know to be at the top of this thing. Like Red, like Oron, Comfort, Julie. You know, like the main people that do these webinars and these live streams, right? So then they just have people writing them. So now they've gotten to a point where you're noticing that instead of them wishing people a happy birthday, they're going, if you have a birthday today, happy birthday. And they're kind of starting to stop praying for people now, too, if you haven't noticed. They might mention 1 or 2 people again. Usually people that are close to them. There's a lot of favoritism that comes into play, which, of course, is just another reason why I said this was a bad idea. Because once you bring that also into this, it's a whole thing, right? I'm sure you guys can take a moment and think about how that will fuck with the hierarchy here and the jealousy that can happen and then the competition that can happen with that. I'm sure I don't gotta explain it anymore. But it's like, it happened. It's going to unravel that way. And that's kind of what we're seeing. So now they only pray for like special people, like 1 or 2 people maybe they'll mention to pray for. But yeah, they're kind of trying to get out of having to do all that. So it's just like, if you have a birthday, happy birthday. If you have something going on in your life, because now they've done this a couple times where they go, if you have something hard going on in your life, we're all praying for you. And I'm like, oh, all right. So we're already taking away the being personal over here. Interesting. And it's a hard place for me to be in because I don't know what's worse. I really don't. I don't know what's worse. For them to be up close and personal with these people and lead them on, or for them to not be up close and personal with these people and lead them on. Again, like they're both just problems. It would really be best if they would all just fuck off and stop leading all these people on. But, since we're not going to get that, I'm constantly trying to figure out which is the better of the two evils. It is basically what I'm doing all the time. I'm like, I don't know what's worse, though. What one's better? They both kind of suck. Yeah, like pray with an E. I mean, we'll never stop doing that. Chris says they are getting so religious. Pretty soon, Ash will start telling the founders he needs a G6 for his private corporate jet. Start meeting up with fucking Joel Osteen. Jesus Christ, what a creepy man. Every time that man comes on the television, I've never seen a more creepy looking person as that man.
And I like laughing. And I also believe in talking about what you believe in. There's nothing wrong with that. I
think Jean wishes that she was Susie or Julie to Onpassive. I get that. I get that off of her. She's like, I want to be one of the main Onpassive girls. She's got that like pick me energy.
I believe in not knocking people down, picking them up. And yeah, some of these people get me a little mad once in a while, but you've seen, I've learned.
Oh yeah, no, she's one of the main ones that takes that spelling Onpassive in all capitals very seriously. Yeah, no, she doesn't like it at all. She'll be like, what are you doing? Don't you know that we're supposed to be respectful here and put it in all capital letters? And I'm like, why? I don't know what they think that's doing. Like, I really don't understand. I don't understand. I don't even give a fuck if you write my name in all lowercase letters. Even Beth. I'm not over here. Oh my gosh, she didn't put a capital on the B. What a bitch. Now she's a big giant capital B. Fuck her. It's just so weird to be like, you have to write Onpassive in all capital letters. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what do you guys think that means? What do you think you're doing with that? Do you think if you put it in like all capital letters that it demands more respect from the reader? Like, I don't understand. It just seems so like pointless to me. Jesus was a joiner, just like our scam passive friend Alfredo. Oh, is he like Jesus? Is that what you're saying?
Just ignore him. I just ignore people because I really know what a passive is going to do for my family, my friends, the world. And sorry, Lester, I had to do it. Julie Prier, you're next. But it's just a lot of fun. I'm having fun with this. And people say, you do all that work. What I do a live every day. And this one's a little longer, of course. And then we jump on a webinar here and there. It's fun for me because I know I'm bringing some kind of joy into someone's life. I see people on here, when are we getting our money? Blah, blah, blah. I think my personal self, what Ash said last Wednesday, he said some things that made me think maybe something might just pop this week. I don't know. I can honestly tell you, we don't know. You guys think we do, we don't. But I know that every Monday I'm excited because something new is going to come up. Whether he tells us something or he added a new TV button for the backdrops last night, which some people said, big deal. It's awesome. It's fun because it's another thing that he's added. He keeps adding things. If you watch the Orano.
But the thing is that the stuff that Ash adds, like the example you gave us, this button, is like something that should have already been available with the software. You know what I mean? So it's presented as like a special feature that you're adding, but it's really a basic function feature. Does that make sense? Like it's something basic that should be included, that the app should be doing, but instead of getting released with the app, it like gets released months down the line as a special added in feature. And you're like, what the fuck? That's the problem. It's not that he's adding stuff in. It's the way that it's presented, and that the things that he adds now should have already been there.
Whatever we call it today. And it's Zevenberg, and Marty, you keep calling Casey Zevenberg. It's Zeven.
I'll take her for you, Joe.
Talking about turtles. And he started off the show and asked a few questions. And go watch it for yourself. I think it was one of the best sessions we've ever had with Ash.
Imagine if they started introducing her as Robin from Beyond the Grave.
Someone's going to say, oh, that was not. It was. He asked the the people what they thought. And if you really listen to, we had some of the greatest.
Honestly, me too. I feel like Sherry would just be happy the whole time. She would just want to be smiling and happy. You know, you could probably talk about your day to her. And then just very nicely ask her not to bring up Onpassive again, and she probably wouldn't. You know? Whereas the rest of them, I don't know if I'd be able to spend even 2 minutes with them.
Feedback that I've ever seen, because if you see me on this, guys, this is your opportunity. Ash is asking you a question. Give him what he wants. Ash doesn't want to. Ash is not someone that when you talk to, you just tell him what he wants to hear. When that man asks you for your opinion and what you think, that's what he wants to hear, whether it's good or bad. I'm warning everybody. When you talk to Ash Mafara on a panel, it's not time for kissing butt. When that man asks you what you think, he wants to know what you're thinking, and I'm being honest about that.
I don't know how I feel about this, Chris. Because I do feel like when people come up, Ash definitely does want them to kiss his ass. So it's kind of weird to now have you like freaking out at people for doing that. Because Ash has kind of made everyone feel like they're walking on eggshells. All right. So when they come up and they talk to him, they're very, very nervous. And they all feel almost obligated to like suck up to him first. And to thank him. Like, that's why every single time it starts off with almost like oh, Mr. Ash, thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you. I'm so honored to be here. And then it goes into, thank you so much for what you do for us. I just love Onpassive and I love the products. You know, it's because Ash has kind of made that environment. So then for him to turn around and be like, I don't like it when people do this, is kind of like, I don't know. Why? Why would you do that? It's kind of like the way it's always gone when Ash has done a webinar. Whenever somebody else speaks, it always leads with like, oh, it's such an honor for you to speak to me. And then a little bit of praise, as if he's a god in some cases. And then it kind of goes into their question. And even when they ask their questions, a lot of them are very careful about the wording, right? Because you can't be negative. And this is kind of how I feel like a lot of the people stay positive. Because there is nothing else to really do or be positive about. Other than them just praising Ash and being like, I love Onpassive. Onpassive is so perfect. All the products are amazing. You know, it's like, it's the same thing over and over again. So it's a little bit weird. See, I love Sherry. If we can save one person, it should be her. That's right. Asks real questions. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Ash doesn't like real questions. You can't watch her because she's a true believer and you're worried about her. Me too. I'm worried about Julie too, but I do know that at least her family will be there. So there is that. Ash asked Marty and Chris what everyone's reaction was after he tanked on the 360. Probably. You know? I hope so too, Sherry. I hope that her daughters are around.
This is what I've learned, is he does not want to hear something that you're going to do this or that. He wants to know what you think on the question that he asked. And it was very good questions, and it brought up very good discussion about Onpassive. The man really does care what you think. Now, I honestly think Ash has already got things in play, and he likes to just pick people's brains. What do you think? Ivy Mix gave a really cool suggestion that I've never heard of. Go watch the video. I seen Ash Mafar grab his book and start writing things down because he liked it. He listened to everyone on the screen that night.
Mark says, I suggested that my Onpassive mate get a job for 2 days per week, minimum wage for extra income, and invest it instead of joining Onpassive. He said Onpassive would give him better returns. He'd have $60,000 by now, probably that or more.
And we had a little bit of fun. But it really was. So I suggest.
And you know what? Even if he didn't invest it, he would still end up with more. So there's that.
Back ops in the update section. Go watch it.
They are
on the YouTube channels, and I'm just go watch it. Pick one and watch it. It was excellent. If you can't always make it, like Ash showed up really, really late on Friday.
Dude, it's literally like what, 4 or 5 hours long? This is what I mean, though. Like, most people don't have the time to be watching 4 or 5 hour long videos. Even my videos, most people don't watch the whole 4 or 5 hours. You know? I'm having a hard time with this.
We didn't lock the room. Anyone that wants to come. We know we got people on there that probably don't belong. But I say this. I told this to Marty, and he told it to me. Who cares about those people? Because they really, and people say, oh, here's this praying guy. It says, I love everyone, but I don't care for someone that wants to just be negative all the time. They don't understand what this is. Right? I understand what this is. The people that go on these panels and do webinars every day, they understand what this is, and they're trying to get out to everyone. And I'll say a little bit what Marty said there. You don't have to sell this. We talked a lot about product.
Dude, we just don't understand what it is. We just don't get it. That you have to invest all of your time and money into something for 6 years to get no payouts and make $0. We just don't understand that, guys.
Products. Staff, which Ash says you're really going to like.
I know you guys do your best, and when you can, you do it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not out here like, oh my God, people aren't watching this whole 5 hour video. I get it. It's 5 hours. A lot of people on the replay crew, they'll be like, yeah, I'm watching it in sections. You know, I'm watching like an hour a day this week. And then I'll be caught up. It's like, yeah, I get it. Imagine though being like, you should go watch all 5 hours of that webinar, but it's like every day they want you to watch at least 5 hours of webinars. It's just, like, it's a ridiculous amount. Like, nobody can do this. Nobody. Even if you're retired and you do have all the time in the world, I don't think that you want to make an obligation to then have to go watch 5+ hours of Onpassive webinars. Like, it's just, and it's like no other MLM does this much. And what I don't understand is it's not like they're doing training. Like, we've seen this over and over again where they have, like, the training MLMs, okay? And then they'll do, like, the training every day on how to sell and how to do this and how to do that. But it will be, like, an hour or two, and then that's it. You know, like, no other MLM is like, you should watch 6 hours of webinars a day in order to know what's going on. It's like, nobody's going to do this. Especially like when you're watching like 5 hours of literally just Ash and them hanging out, trying to figure out what information in all of it is the important information that you need to know. You know, that's why tomorrow I've gathered some clips of it of stuff that I think you guys need to see. But we're not going to be watching through the whole thing. We've done it many times in the past. But I feel like at this point in our coverage of this, since I've been covering it for 3 years now, we can now go to just picking out the important parts. And if you guys want to watch the whole thing, then you can watch the whole thing. You know? Yeah, and they're supposed to interact. And then what if you're there? Oh my God, imagine being there for 5 hours and you're like trying to interact and look engaged, but then nobody's noticing you. I'm sure that happens to people. And then you're flipping out because you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to get paid because nobody saw me at the 5-hour webinar today, and you're doing this like every day. Like that would just be like a whole fuck around, I feel like. I'd be real pissed off all the time. You know? You watched 1 hour of Chris and Marty's, an hour of Red, Sherry 15 minutes. Yeah, you know, like doing that. That makes more sense to me than having to sit through all 5 hours of Ash and them just hanging out. You know? But usually when we're watching them over here, we're also hanging out and laughing. We're having some fun. You know, same with that, the recovering Hun bots. I guess their argument would be that they all have fun together. And it's like, yeah, but you're not really doing anything. You know?
We have the old version. I love the old version. I haven't seen the new version yet. But I lived that life where I was working 16, 18 hours a day. And as I was walking out the door, my managers were still on the computer doing payroll, who was here, attendance, and all that stuff. And the way I looked at it, staff.
We do have to try to react to one of Roblin and Rob's over the next couple of weeks. I should try to pick one and find, because that's what I mean. Usually when I'm like reacting to these guys, there's another reason why I'm doing it on top of just to see what they're saying. It's like, oh, this one really shows how manipulative Ash can be. So we can learn more about manipulation tactics that cults use. So let's go watch that one, and then we can talk about that. Or I'll try to like teach you guys about technology somehow or something else on top of it. Every once in a while, we just like to laugh and have fun, but for the most part, we're also doing something else. You know?
Because it's going to save time and money. Those managers would probably be walking out the door. Their salary. They don't want to be there 15, 16 hours a day. They want to go home. And I'm saying that when those staff, I'm talking to staff right now, when that gets out to the working environment, when my managers are home before me, when they get to go back on the bowling league or out to dinner with their friends, where normally they were working because they had to get that stuff done. That's what I'm talking about. What do you think they're going to do? Hey, Marty, you're home today?
I only beat you, Albs. You weren't supposed to tell anyone about that. Shh. They're not supposed to know.
What happened? Oh, man, we got this new system. Onpassive staff, it got me out 3-4 hours early. I got all my stuff done because everything was right there. And that's going to fly. Every one of these people got friends in another business. Hey, man, send me that information. I got to check that out. Right there alone, we don't have to do nothing. It does it for itself. We talked about the iPhone. Everyone wants an iPhone. Everyone's a little nervous because they're a little tricky to figure out if you've been on a Samsung forever. I got one. I'm like, I was asked my daughter. I was scared to that. Man, I don't know. I'm not going to worry. I love my iPhone. Why? Because it's a good product. I don't know what the percentage is in the world of people that have iPhones, but I know it's a lot. Why? Because it's good. We talked about Apple. Listen, I'm not talking about Apple. Onpassive has great products. Which ones, Chris? Connect. Because I've seen it. I've lived it. I've done it. I've worked it. That is as far as I'm concerned, my opinion, the lead product that we have to show people what else is coming. And that's the way you got to think. Is every product for you? No. But that's okay. There's 8 billion people in this world. You think they all think just like you? No, they don't. What I like, Connect, someone is going to love staff. The great thing is they go together. I believe just between Connect and staff and Academy, he doesn't have to build another product as far as I'm concerned. But does he stop there? No. He wants to just improve things, make it better, make it easier. That's what Onpassive does. Improves things, makes it easier. People say, why would I get Connect if Zoom is free? Because Zoom don't pay you. Zoom's not out to make your life better. Was it a good product? It was a good product because it fell in the perfect time when we had the virus going on. That's what put Zoom where it is. And then people realized that, wow, this is pretty cool. Businesses realize we can have people work from home. Now, when I heard that, I have a neighbor, Never had to go back to a building. He works right out of his house now. For years, he went to a building.
My God, why are you screaming this at us, though? Is it just me, or does he seem more screamy this time? Oh, Lord.
He saves gas and time. He's in his house. That's what the world turned into because of the virus. Did Zoom get lucky? I would say that they came out at the right time. Now we have people all over the world.
DeGarmo, you said the hard
all over
word.
the world that are looking at things different. Wow,
I'm going to get canceled because of you.
Let everyone work from home and get rid of that $30,000 a month rent we do for all these people. Yeah, it happened.
You would think that they weren't giving him his pension with the way that he talks about them, though.
We didn't do it. It just happened. So when O Connect came along and O Academy is going to come and O Staff, it makes me think, wow, I can't see anyone not being part of this because it is going to save them a lot of time. Listen, I love time. What do we say? I don't care who you are. You say this. Oh, my God, there's just not enough hours in the week. Open your front door. Open your front door and realize that there's going to be enough hours in the week, but to go do what you want to do.
Open your front door. Open your front door. Do we need to stop going there just to take some of the edge off from Chris screaming at us?
Stop going there.
So we get him to scream at us again.
That's impassive. I'm screaming because I'm excited, but I also want to get it into your thick skull.
Ah! My thick skull. Who are you screaming at? You're not screaming to the people that are already in Onpassive, right? You're screaming at me, aren't you? You're screaming at me. I want to get it into your thick skull while I'm in this thing, damn it. It's a great company.
It's here. It's here. I think the next 2 weeks are going to blow you away.
See, that's the thing is that people that are in MLMs have this really weird mindset that everybody wants to own a company and get paid for using all products. And it's like, okay, that would be a very bizarre world, by the way, where we got paid to use products, like reverse capitalism. I don't know what that would look like or how that would sustain our world in any way, shape, or form. But also, like, a lot of people don't want to run a business. And that's okay. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. And it's like we've entered this weird thing in our society where it's like everybody is supposed to want to run a business online and make money online. And it's like, what if you just don't want to? What if you're happy with the career you got and you don't want to have like a side hustle? Is that not okay anymore? It's like, maybe I just want to use Zoom. Maybe I don't want them to pay me and I don't want to have to post about them and how much I like using them so many times a week and like have a website dedicated to them and a link that I send out. You know, like not everyone is about that. This is why I'm a bad YouTuber because I don't care enough to do things like this. I'm like, I have the affiliate link, I believe, for like the StreamYard. It puts it there automatically. All right. Otherwise, I would never have links in, like anything, because I'm awful at remembering to put that stuff in. But it's like, I don't want to have a business. You know, some people just don't want to, and that's fine. You shouldn't be screaming at them, telling them, get your thick skulls to understand that Onpassive is great. That sounds ridiculous to me. Marty's apathy for Chris is one of my favorites. He looks so uninterested and never ever acknowledge anything he says. He looks like he's taken a poop this whole time. But he always looks so checked out to me too. Like I feel like he's reading the comments excessively. And that's what he gets on to do it. As soon as Chris starts talking, he just like zooms into the comment section. And then it's like, that's what he's concentrating on. So no, he's not paying attention to anything else that's going on or being said. Half the times he pulls a comfort where he'll just come back on and be like, oh yeah, no, that was real powerful. Good for you, buddy. Like, you know, the universe where everyone is selling to each other, right? Like, we couldn't even live in a world like that. It makes no sense. The difference between Marty and Chris is that one knows he's scamming, the other is just crazy. Work out which is which, right? It must be a boomer mindset, addicted to money. I'm Gen X and don't give a crap. I'd say MLMs is more of a millennial thing. And I'm a millennial, so I'll own it. I feel like the millennials were the ones that kind of got the MLM thing to pop off, and the hustle culture thing kind of really started out here on the internet, you know? I think that might be our fault. And these are the type of people that they want to be in the younger generation. They wish they were in the younger generations, so they're always trying to keep up with the kids and be cool, you know? That's why they're all stacking the cool and chillaxing together, right? So they're like, oh, we're going to do what everyone's doing, online businesses, and they get scammed out of 20 years worth of MLMs. Because that's pretty much what happened here.
In my opinion. But that's how I think. If you're in a mindset where you're down, Debbie Downer, always, oh, this ain't going to work for me. Get out of that mood because it will work for you.
Honestly, Chris thinks that, like, everyone that's not in Onpassive, like all of us, for example, we're watching this going, oh, this company will never work for me. And that's what the problem is. We're just all watching, just all upset all the time, angry, negative people. And we're just like, oh man, this company will never work for me. So we don't want all of these people to, like, you know, make Debbie Downer. Is that like Debbie Does Dallas? That was a callback. We never did find out what that damn Debbie got up to in Dallas, did we? We never did. We just never did. Warhammer never told us. But yeah, I literally, like, I think it's funny the way that Chris seems to think every single person on outside of Onpassive is, like, upset that they won't be able to be successful in Onpassive. And I'm like, no. If anything, we're upset that you won't be able to be successful in Onpassive. You know, like, we're fighting this for you because you're not fighting it for yourselves. You're just letting Ash do whatever the fuck he wants and treat you like shit and string you along and lie to you and manipulate the law and do things illegally and fuck this whole thing up, and you're just fine with it. It's weird. It's like somebody has to be like, hey, this isn't okay. And, like, when me and the Recovering Unbot started this, we were both kind of like, somebody has to hold this man accountable. Because he comes out here and tells these people a promise. And then he just, like, doesn't deliver it. And then everyone's just okay with it. And like, things can't be that way. How is that okay? That shouldn't be a thing. You know? That girl, Vivine, yes, I'll agree with you on that. There's a few of them.
You're one of those people that think everything you do, you don't accomplish. Onpassive is going to help you through that one, let me tell you. That's why I loved it. Anyone could do it. And it doesn't matter your situation. I said it before. We have people that are paralyzed in Onpassive. Why? Because they don't really need to do anything. But the funny thing is they're doing something. They're talking about it.
That was a bad joke.
There's people we have, our deaf founders, who I love.
Not you, Stricardo, what he said.
Yeah. We have people that have just disabilities that they can't go to work.
Good to see you. I would have thought by all the delays and lies that Ash spits out of his mouth recently that Chris would get out of this. No, and unfortunately, during this live stream, Chris makes a statement of, my family has a business that I could have gotten into, but I didn't because I was like, I can do this myself my way. And that kind of stuck out to me a little bit.
And let me tell you something. I've never been on disability. I know my brother Marty is. I know some of my family members are. It pays a little bit. And it helps. I'm not going to knock it, but not to live a life. Onpassive is going to change all that. All right? I don't ever want to have to collect money from the government. My opinion, I've always wanted to work hard and do it for myself. Had a family business I chose not to get into because I told my dad I just want to do it my way. And I got into Ford and Mazda. All right?
And there it is. I told my dad that I wanted to do it my way, and then I went and got into Ford and Mazda. Woo! So I don't know if he thinks that him working at Ford is the failure, but it seems to be that way. I would argue that he was pretty successful there, though. Did he own his own business there? No. But that was a hell of a lot better than what he's doing right now.
Long time, man. 32 freaking years is a long time. And I tell you what, I got aches and pains. I'm 58 years old. Man, I don't want anyone to feel those aches and pains because of work. Walked on cement my whole life.
Yeah, but we can't all just stop working. And then, like, okay, we need things to get done in our world. Like, we can't all just, every single person in the world be like, oh, I want to fucking work. All right, it makes my body kind of sore. I'm just going to say, fuck it. If we all do that, then we're in for a lot of trouble. Otherwise, we better start making some entrepreneurial businesses that like build buildings. And some of people that want to work in fast food or construction or the healthcare system. Like, what the fuck are we going to do? You know, like, we can't all just be like, oh, I work. Working hurts my body. Unfortunate, but true.
All right? You don't have to walk on cement when you're in Onpassive. All you got to do is think about things. Make a post. It is a great company. It's going to be the biggest, greatest company. I already know this. Can I read?
That sounds like a fucking horror film, Sherry.
In the future, I can't. But I can see the stats. I can see the percentages. AI is going through the roof right now. All right.
It's sad to me because it's like Chris was a decently successful person. Like, he's obviously not doing too bad. Seen a hell of a lot of people doing a lot worse than he is. And he acts like by having a career at Ford, like for 32 years and being on a pension now, like that's some kind of failure. And it makes me a little sad because I'm like, is that how low your self-esteem is? Because like that sounds like a pretty respectful career to me. Like, I don't know why he sees it like that. It kind of sucks. You know?
Internet is going through the roof right now. Every single day, 650 to 1 million people are joining the internet every single day, whether it's social media or trying to make money online. This is the place to come. You don't have to go through 5 years of the journey, which I think you missed out a little bit. If you're stressed out and you, oh man, when's this going to come? It's coming. It's here. You heard it from the CEO himself. There's a process they're waiting on. And that's a normal process. If anyone's got some kind of brain in their head, when you put a lot of money in the bank, there's a big process that you got to go through to verify everything's good and right. And Ash Mafara has verified everything that's good and right, even though he's got people against him.
No, he hasn't, though. You just say that, but technically, no. On the books, no. No. And that's the thing, is how you feel about him in this business doesn't matter at the end of the day. And how it makes you feel on the inside doesn't matter. Is it selling products? Does it have profits? Are you making commissions? These are the things that actually matter for it to be a successful business, right? Not, oh, well, when Ash talks to us for half an hour, when he finally pops in at 6 a.m. on a webinar, I feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. So that makes me hold on, and he says something's coming soon. So I'm just going to believe it. Like, they'll be like, I don't care. Like, what are your numbers? How many sales have you made? I've sold OConnect to myself. Like, what the fuck? You know, like that, like, no, that none of that matters. You have to start thinking about that if you want to be a successful business owner.
News for you. Everyone that created a massive company like this had people against them. Did they stop? No. Did they whine about it? No. They just kept moving forward. I'm asking you to do the same thing. You didn't have to do the work. Maybe a lot of you get up every day and you promote it because you're proud of it. Myself, Marty, Red, we get on every day.
Diamond Mummy here is my favorite. They said, I love how emotional you get, Chris. You sound like a manic. They're being sarcastic. But for some reason, Marty is like, this is a great comment to put up on the screen. Like, okay. You know? Chris should know better. He made a great living at Ford. This whole concept of doing nothing and collecting money and being in a cult is all bullshit. I just can't believe he fell for it. I mean, it's coming from your brother, Chris.
And we try to talk about it to let you know what's going on. Okay. Big things are coming.
And this is what I mean, though. Like, I don't know anyone who would snub their nose off at somebody being like, what did you do for a living? I worked at Ford for 32 years. Like that, like I said, that sounds like a respectful career. Like most people would be like, oh, sweet. Yeah, no, that's a decent. Like you made a decent living doing that. You have a pension now. But the way he talks about it is like as if they made him do slave labor. And it's like, no. Like they didn't kidnap you and force you into working for them and then just spit you back out and be like, fuck you and your pension. Then maybe I could be like, all right, yeah, he's a little salty about that. I would be too. After spending 32 years there. What the hell, you know? But that's not what happened. And it's so strange because when you think of it in comparison to what he's going through now, it's like, what the fuck? Like, that makes you upset when you think about that and how you spent 32 years working at a career that gives you a pension today and it hurt your body a bit, but then you have no problem with the fact you sat around for 6 months dedicating all of your time, energy, resources, and money into Onpassive and got dick all, and you're not upset about that at all? Like, that doesn't raise any upset in you? You're not like, oh, the damn fucking company get me to work for them for free, get nothing in return. It's like, what's wrong with you, Chris? Like, what the fuck? Why are you so backwards? Just goes to show you how much of a cult this is. That's why.
We say that all the time. Oh, Chris Johnson says it's coming. You know why? Because it is. And I'm not going to stop saying that. But I think this week, it's going to be big. Do I know that? No, I don't. I'm just letting you know. Pay attention. Do you have...
Okay, I don't understand. Chris literally just said, I think this week is good. It's going to be big. So after he ranted and raved for a good 15 to 20 minutes at everyone about how they can't say things like that, all right, and give deadlines for the end of the month, he literally turns around and gives his own deadline for the end of the fucking month. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? So what's the rule then, Chris? Are you the only one that's allowed to say when Ash is going to be paying out this money to everyone? You're the only one allowed, you and Marty? You don't want anyone else coming out here and saying, oh, at the end of this week, big things are going to be happening? That makes you upset, but you're allowed to say it? Like, what the fuck, dude? How is that even a thing? Like, do you not realize that you just ranted and raved about it? Oh, there's someone out here that was saying that by the end of the month, something's going to happen. And then literally at the end of this, he goes, so yeah, guys, I think by the end of the month, something's going to happen over here. It'll be big. Huge!
You have to be on every single webinar Ash shows up on. Well, not if you're working, you can't. Is it recorded? DeGarmo puts a lot of work into making those recordings so you can see it. Does it take sometimes 1 or 2 days to get it out? Yeah. It's a lot of work. But it's...
What work do you do? Oh. You mean because you edited out the end? Oh yeah, we'll be talking about that tomorrow.
There for you. Don't call me and say, well, Chris, I've been in passing for a couple years. I don't, what's going on with it? Man, don't say that to me. And I say, go to your update section and read it. If you don't know how, let me help you get in there and read everything, because everything that's been going on is in the update section, whether it's the notes, videos, and people are putting some good stuff out there, man. It's all there for you. It's right at your fingertips. It's under your nose. Plug in a little bit. You don't need to call me because there's too much to tell. Go read about it. I love every one of you. It's a blessed Sunday every day for me. It's a blessed Monday through Friday every day for me. And I'm happy. I'm happy because I belong to something that's going to change my life. An average Joe, Chris, Marty, average people, regular blue-collar workers are in something that's so big. So big. If you're struggling right now.
Yeah, I have a question for you, though, Chris, because you said to go and check on the updates. So I just want to know if you mean the update section in the ecosystem? Like, is that what you're talking about when you say that? I don't know if there's like a special one that the O founders have, but there's the updates here in the ecosystem. I'm in it right now, as you guys can hopefully see. Yeah, you guys see this? So you mean check on the updates? Well, I can't click on updates, so I got to click on the read more. April 22nd, 2024. Are you fucking joking? I would love to check out the updates, Chris, but you don't use this to really update anyone. March 16th, March 13th, February 29th, February 22nd. Remember when Dr. Amen joined? And then that week was the week that the leaked call happened and you guys tried to copy strike all of us. February 20th. And that one was a good one because it starts off with Dear Customers. And it's about fraudulent emails. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, you don't update anything on here. You haven't updated us in the update section since the Go Africa thing. And when you do have a webinar, especially a corporate webinar, by the way, you don't update us here for any longer than 2 seconds. And then you erase it out of here. I mean, it's a few days later now. Today's Monday. And you still don't have the replay for the ORON posted here. So maybe that's where you should be posting it, because that's where most of the people believe the updates to be. Unless, again, there's another area in the founders when you pay more, but there shouldn't be. Everyone's using the OES, and they always tell people to look in the OES instead. So I don't know. But don't be like, oh, stay plugged in. Check out the updates. Why don't you guys fucking update us properly and not do 5-hour webinars of nothing with like 2 sentences of information in it that we need? Why don't you only update us when there's something to update us on? Try that.
Give it to God, because something good is coming. Something good is coming.
I guess you can't join Onpassive if you're atheist. So we're safe.
Remember that, $97 you lose or a legacy you build.
But I thought you got it paid back in O coin, even though, like I keep pointing out, it was only 95 O coin. Now you've lost it. And this just goes to show too that Chris doesn't understand, I guess, people's problems, because he goes, oh, $97 isn't a lot. It doesn't matter if you use it. 3 months pay to Papua New Guinea. Doesn't matter if they lose it? Okay, why don't you give them your 3 months pay then? Go ahead, take 3 months worth of your pension, Chris, and go and hand it over to someone over there then, so that they don't have to worry about missing out on the $97 if you're so fucking sure that it doesn't matter if they lose it, right? I hate it when he says things like that. It's like, you have one nerve to prey on people where that's literally 3 months of their fucking pay, and then make the statement of, oh, who cares if you lose it? It's not a lot to me, so who cares if you lose it? Said the sociopath.
Don't think about yourself all the time. What you think is bad is nothing compared to someone that has it worse. Papua New Guinea right now. That's a sad thing right now. And that stuff's happening all over the world.
Interesting that you would bring them up here. Just saying.
As we get going, we're going to be able to help a lot of people. Just remember that. Marty DeGarmo, back to you.
Back to you.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's the first time both of us didn't have anything. I know. Anyway.
So, yeah, as you can see, Marty barely was paying any fucking attention. And that pretty much brings it to the end. But Chris was very passionate there compared to how he's been in the past. Recent comment from Indian founder about being encouraged to plan for the future. He borrowed money for a new computer so he can watch all the webinars. Wow. Wow. And Violet says, Gene's comment on screen, hashtag unshakable faith. Not culty at all, right? I mean, they are. But you can say that about anyone promising you a crazy return. Give me $50 and I'll turn you into a millionaire. What have you got to lose? $50? And it's, you lose a lot more than that. Like, they want to save humanity. They're going to ruin a whole bunch of people's faith in humanity, is what they're going to do. Right now, the people that they're preying on in their scam are all good-hearted people for the most part, you know, unless it's them up at the top. They're decent, good-hearted people that thinks that, you know, this grand act of kindness can be done. And they're all about to have their hopes up for nothing. And maybe after this thing tanks, they're not going to see the world as a kind, helpful place anymore. And their worldview will be destroyed. So you don't think about losing those sorts of things. Chris doesn't think about how maybe he's losing the respect of his friends and family. Driving a wedge between he and his own brother, possibly. Things like this. It's like, these are things that you can lose if you pay just that $97. These are things that don't have a price tag attached. But I'd argue they're maybe more important to lose than your $97. You know? So, tomorrow I thought, like I said, that I would be reacting to different parts of the lovely Oron, because there's quite a few many parts in it that I would like to kind of bring up to you guys. I want you guys to hear Ash say what he says and how he says it. And you'll get a little bit of everyone else that was there. And also, I wanted to show you guys, because the recording that they released out to everyone publicly ends very differently than the ones that we all watched live over on the Recovering Hunbots channel. And if you remember how it ended, maybe you'll remember maybe why they might have cut it off early. But I thought it would be fun for us to compare the two and just kind of have a little talk about that. And hopefully going forward now, you know, something does happen. We're still in this standstill of waiting for all of this stuff to happen. I just found it very interesting that it seemed like all weekend long, all of them are flipping out about how people are saying something's happening at the end of the month, while also simultaneously promising everyone that something's going to be happening by the end of the month. Like, I don't get it. Like, what? You're allowed to say that, just no one else is? No one should be saying it. We don't know if it's the end of the month, so maybe nobody should be bringing it up. But it's like, people are going to want their money. You can't promise a bunch of people their money any day now and then not expect them to be asking for it. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. So I hope that you guys had fun. Thank you for going through this lovely little ride with me where we got yelled at by both Red Dick Redfern and Chris cannot find his Johnson. I found it fun. It's starting to pick up with the rain here, so please maybe just say a little prayer for me in case there's another tornado here. You know, just maybe. I think we'll be okay, but it looks like we might be having another one coming up on us here. So it seems like the perfect time to end this. I hope that all of you have a fabulous, amazing rest of your MLM Mondays. Again, please do go check out all of the other multi-level marketing channels out there. All of my fellow anti-scam channels and anti-cult channels. You know, just Monday's like my day where I like to come out and say, hey, support our movements. Our movements of ensuring that you are all educated in manipulation tactics, that you are all educated on scams, that you are all educated on how to protect yourselves from being taken advantage of. Because it's usually in ways that you would least expect to be by the people that you would least expect to do it to you. So the only way you can really protect yourself is by staying educated. And I try to make it so that we have fun while we're doing it. So have a fabulous rest of your MLM Monday. I love all of you, and I will see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, as long as I don't die from the tornado. I'm joking. I'm sorry. Maybe that was a bad joke to make. I should be fine. Love you. Bye.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. Is that the call? Hey.
Friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was 3 minute Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the questions. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want.
Yeah.
Only Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune into crazy guys talking about their experiences. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Woman, everyone, happy MLM Monday. Love you, bye.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ashton Potter.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ashton Potter, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.